So today let us start with respect to collections in Java. Okay. So before starting with respect to the collections, let us try to understand what is the need or why do we use collections. Okay. Because the arrays that we have seen, the arrays in Java. Okay. The arrays in Java has fewer disadvantages. To overcome those disadvantages, we have collections. Okay, why do we use collections? We use collections in order to overcome with respect to the disadvantages that arrays has. To overcome that, we go with collections. Now, what is collections? Collections are nothing but those which are used to store data. Okay, like arrays, like variables, like integer types. Collections is also a data structure which helps us in storing the data. Okay, that is collections. It has various implementing classes. So you can see here collections refer to a framework which provides architecture to store and manipulate a group of objects. It is part of Java collection framework, which is included in java.util package. Okay, so this is nothing but collections. What is collections? It is nothing but an architecture, a way to store and manipulate groups of objects or to store and manipulate a group of data. That is the use of collections. We will be storing something and will be manipulating depending upon the requirement. That is collections. Now let us see what is the disadvantages of arrays. To overcome that, we have used collections. Okay, the first disadvantage is it is dynamic size. We have seen that arrays are fixed in size, whereas collections are growable in nature and shrinkable in nature. Growable is nothing but it can increase with any size. Shrink is nothing but it will be try to shrink or it will try to decrease the size that we have taken. Okay, and the built-in methods, there are no built-in methods with respect to arrays. We have no sort, we have no search, but with the help of collections we have built-in methods to manage collections. For example, we have a method to add an element into a collection. We have a method to remove an element from a collection, like that. Okay, and type safety with generics. As we have seen, arrays store only homogeneous data elements, right? It stores only elements of a single type of which it is declared, but collections supports heterogeneous data element support. That is, it will help us in storing any type of element in the list or in the collection, any type. Okay, and for the traversal, for the for loop, we have to only go with respect to the for loop or index based loops or while loop, like that. We don't have the support for any iterator or list iterator, but in the case of collections we have that support. We can iterate or we can navigate each element of an collection with the help of iterators. That is a specific method that is present, or a list. Okay, so these are the advantages with respect to arrays. Okay, the advantages, each advantage we'll see during the session, that how it is helpful. Okay, which was disadvantages with respect to the arrays. Okay, so this is disadvantage. Due to the disadvantages of the arrays, collections concept was introduced. Okay, so the next thing is there are few key interfaces in Java. Okay, we have seen interfaces. What are interfaces? And interfaces are nothing but which contains only abstract methods, right? And so similar kind of interfaces we have with respect to util package or collections. Those interfaces are list interface, set interface, map interface. Okay, list interface is an interface. It is an ordered collection. can contain duplicate values. What is a list? A list is an interface. Okay, list is an interface where duplicates are allowed. Okay, where duplicates are allowed and insertion order is preserved. Duplicates are allowed and insertion order is preserved. This is nothing but list in Java. Okay, what is set? Set is also an interface. Here duplicates are not allowed and insertion order is also not preserved. What is a map? Map is an interface where we will be storing the data with a key and a value pair. That is map. Where key can be unique, key should be unique, and values can be duplicate. We'll see each one of them, guys. We'll see each one of them with respect to its implementing classes. Okay, see, we cannot create an object to an interface, right? Interfaces are used to provide some specific methods, okay, and to implement collection classes we are using this interfaces. Okay, so what is the difference between list and a set? List is an used when the requirement is. When do we go with list interface? When the requirement is duplicates are allowed and insertion order is preserved, we go with the list. When do we go with the set? When duplicates are not allowed and insertion order is also not an requirement. In that case, we go with set interface. And when do we go with map interface? When we used to store the data with a key and a value pair. Okay. For example, if I consider with respect to a list, we will be storing something like this: 1, 2, 3, like this. Integers. I'm trying to tell. Okay. Here duplicates are allowed and insertion order is preserved. In whatever the order that we insert the elements, in same order it will be retained. Okay. But in the case of set, if suppose you are inserting one element like this, and you are inserting one more element 2 now, but that will be stored after 3, and 3 will be one more element that you will be added, and there will be no duplicates, only unique elements. You cannot store one more time or two one more time. No, we cannot store. In the case of set, the duplicates are not allowed and insertion order is not present. Okay, and in the case of map, when do we go with map requirement? When we have a key value pair representation. For example, I need to store the data like this: name is equal to Suraj, like this. Or I need to store something like fruit name is equals to apple, like this. So if we want to store the data with a key value pair, we go with map. Okay. And list can also be used to store any kind of data type. It might be string, not only list, it might be list, set, map. It can use to store any kind of data types. It can use to store string, integer, float, double, object, anything. Okay. So this is collection interfaces. Now these interfaces have few implementing classes. Okay. For example, when we go with the list, we have two implementing classes: array list and linked list. When we go with the set, we have three implementing classes. We have hash set, linked hash set, tree set. When we go with the map, we have hash map, tree map, linked hash map, and hash table. Okay, these are the commonly used collection with respect to automation. Okay, with respect to the automation collection concept. So first we have list interface. The list interface has two implementing classes: array list and linked list. We have set interface, which has implementing classes like hash set, linked hash set, tree set. We have map interface, which has implementing classes hash map, tree map, linked hash map, and one more is hash table. Okay, so this is the structure with respect to collection concept. So basically, collection is an interface which has list, set, map interface. List has array list and linked list as the implementing classes. Set has hash set and linked hash set, and tree set as the implementing classes. Map has hash map, tree map, linked hash map, hash table as the implementing classes.